So, hello, listeners. I am your host, Lana the Educator. If you're a first time listener, welcome to my channel. Here we explore the latest educational trends and tackle pressing issues facing the education sector, conduct insightful interviews with people making a difference, and share stories of triumph and innovation from around the globe. Today, we have an interesting episode for you and one that I think is very culturally relevant. And we're kind of getting our mind in gear for this important aspect of our cultural landscape here in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're soon to be ending 2025, and many mass bands will be preparing for their 2026 presentation. Indeed, many have already had their band launches. So you may want to know, why am I talking about Carnival in the middle of October? But band leaders and artistic and creative directors everywhere have already been, working hard behind the scenes. And it is important to our cultural landscape. With that in vain, today's guest, Patrick Roberts, from Image Nation, will be joining us to talk about many things you will hear in the upcoming episode here. Let me tell you a bit about Mr. Roberts. He is a multidisciplinary artist who works out of Trinidad's capital city, Port of Spain. Although having fairly recently lost all of his sight in his right eye, and most in his left, he continues to be creative. Mr. Roberts' recent watercolor and acrylic-based pastels, acrylic paintings, and children's masks have often tell the story of his journey with glaucoma, or rather, as he says, glaucoma's piggybacking ride with him. He says that losing one's sight is very frightening, but for a visual artist, losing one's eyesight is exceedingly terrifying. However, continuing in art and mass is an important part of his ongoing therapy. Mr. Patrick Roberts designed his first Trinidad Carnival costume in 1979. From then to now, he has worked locally, regionally, and internationally with masks and designs spanning North and South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and especially Africa. In Africa, Roberts became an integral part of what is now labeled Africa's biggest street party. He designed all of the costumes for their carnival in the 2004-2005 and continues to do work there in Calabar, Nigeria still. Roberts's Trinidad Adult Mass Band is, as I mentioned before, Image Nation, where the multitudinous traditional Trinidad Carnival costumes are used as a base for avant-garde contemporary costumes. He's going to tell us more about Image Nation's 2026 presentation. So tell us about your 2026 presentation.
The Imagination's 2026 presentation will add another layer onto the mass, right? In terms of, because we are like you, education is paramount in what we do.
Yes.
So the adult mass is kaiso. So from 2019, I designed originally 8 bands that speak to the Trinidad Carnival. The first one dealt with the steel pan, that was 2019. The 2020 mass dealt with some traditional mass. Kaiso should have been the 2021 mass, but COVID intervened. And when we came back out for the 2023 Carnival, it was time for limbo because COVID had put the world in limbo. Limbo is the premier folk dance of the Trinidad Carnival.
Right.
So I felt that was appropriate. And I continued on. So after limbo, we did Juve, which is the opening sacrament of the Trinidad Carnival. And then we did Canbole, that historical fight for the carnival to live. So 2026 is time for kaiso. And what I've been doing, as you would have seen, is I've been sharing on a daily basis I would say one small nugget from that rich vein of calypso. In terms of doing the research for the mass, I confine myself to calypsos on calypso or kaiso on kaiso. I believe that the only qualified person to speak about the calypso is the calypsonian.
So how do you take this concept of the songs and this kaiso over to the mass to design something that is a
So,
costume?
okay, right.
Mhm.
So in going for the calypsos, Valentino has a calypso called Where Calypso Went,
Mhm.
where he traces the history of the calypso from 1912 to when the song was written. I think I cannot remember the date. But what Valentino says is that in 1912, the first calypso was recorded. You may know the calypso is well, some people say calypso, some people say folk song is Mango Vert. So the mass starts in 1912, and the first section is Mango Vert.
This is your current production.
Yes, this is in Kaiso. Right,
Right.
to answer your question,
Um,
how do we move from the calypso to the mass? So
right.
the first section is Mango Vert,
Mm-hmm.
and the last section there are 7 sections in this year's in the 2026 mass. And the last section is I Want to Fly. I Want to Fly
Mm-hmm.
is, we would have heard it first when Rhoda sang calypso music. Um, and just before that, the section is Kaiso to the World, which is what young Tezia O'Connor sang in the March Graph for 2025. Right?
Mm.
Yes. And those sentiments are not new sentiments. Coming back at also in these sections, I chose some calypsos that were standard calypsos. So, for example, Gypsy's Calypso Sailing is one of the calypsos that marked a specific time in the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Then, of course, Long Live Kaiso, um, Superior, which I posted. So, like I say, so what I'm doing now is
Mm.
sharing that research with people
Right.
because they will be hearing the calypso now. As you say, this is not, and let me use an obscene word, this is not calypso season,
Mm.
right? So people are now hearing this. Some of the people are hearing the calypso for the first time. Some are hearing the calypso for the first time again and listening with a different kind of ears because we have not gone into that kind of hectic season of the carnival.
Right.
So the research is what informed the mass. So between 1912 and 2025, I broke up the mass into 7 segments.
Right.
One of the sections is Indrani.
Mm.
Indrani was sung by Lord Shorty. He wasn't yet Ra Shorty.
Right.
So Indrani was the first time we would have see in any major way the Indio influence in the calypso. It was there before, but it was never that big. So one of the other sections is Denise Plummer's Nah Leaving,
Mm-hmm.
because that's Denise Plummer won the Monarch. We moved from Ben Rose won the Calypso Crown in 87, I think it was. They had to change the name from now Calypso King competition
Right.
to Calypso Monarch.
Mhm.
Denise Plummer is one of, I think, about 5 or 6 females to have won that title. But Nah Leaving is a very strong Trinidadian sentiment.
So
So,
let me ask a question. What impact or message do you hope when this presentation comes out next year, from the audiences? What do you want them to take away from this presentation of Kaiso?
well, I am, as an artist, what they take away is not up to me.
Right.
People will take away whatever they see or whatever they feel or whatever
Mm-hmm.
hits them. The part of our mantra
Mm-hmm.
is about using the traditional carnival, as you read in the bio,
Mm-hmm.
so to build contemporary costumes.
Right.
So that because of the Greco-Roman kind of leanings of the story, especially of the children first,
Mm-hmm.
and now with the adults,
Mm-hmm.
We are, the mass has a kind of Greco-Roman feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then into that, we threw in the kind of, whenever you see pictures of the calypso on the islands, they have this kind of frilly thing that they do. So we combine those two things. The Roman mass was part of our traditional mass. Over the last, from 2020, I've been doing predominantly single color bands. The 2020 band was white. The 23 band was red. 24 was blue. Last year was black and white. This one is predominantly gold because I couldn't find a color as appropriate as gold to deal with calypso. The calypso tells us all we need to know. So it's
It's
timeless.
predominantly gold, so I don't want to
Yes,
be
yes,
frightened or people hearing this and they just think, okay, a whole 7 sections, 12 sections in gold. So is it
uh-huh.
that we have materials that you've
Yes,
experimented with that's going to evoke this idea of the kaiso in the design?
yes,
Yeah, tell
yes.
us more about the materials and the
So that
techniques.
one of the things. So we are also labeled as the premier green band in the carnival. We take the environment and the ecology very, very seriously. So in terms of the materials we use, so for example, um, the work starts with me, it starts in my head, and then it flows in through my body, my hands, my fingers. So the pencils I use, I keep all the pencil shavings to use as repellent against especially bad sharks. So you take, because the shavings are cedar. As an example, Juve, which was 2024 Carnival, was a predominantly blue band. And what we
Mhm.
did, we asked our friends to donate old jeans to us, denim, whether it's a dress or a pants or a hat and thing. And we repurpose that into costume. We make
Oh.
costume from anything, any and everything. So that is part of what we do. So we upcycle materials, one, and then the way we build our costumes, people keep them for years. Um, our band is also a family band. So my eldest sister, who is 9 years older than I am, she sent me a photograph for Emancipation because she uses the costumes to redecorate her house every Emancipation. And she
Okay.
couldn't remember what year this costume was from. It was a costume from 2010 or 2011 that she was asking about. We make all of our costumes in-house, unlike what has become popular. At least what the people are saying. We don't import our costumes. We have the skills to
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons for our timing is because the earlier part of the welder and I were working
Mm-hmm.
on the structures for, we do kings, queens, individuals, that kind of thing. So we were working on that. Um, so we use a number of different gold materials to give us what we want. So we use rhinestones, the plastic ones that
Mm-hmm.
you know called gems. We use feathers. We use leatherette. We use different kinds of fabrics. Um, but in order to also separate the sections, we have added color. So mango vert is
Mm-hmm.
green,
Mm-hmm.
right? And ceiling is white, for example.
White and
So
gold.
yes, white and
Right.
gold, green
Mm-hmm.
and gold. We have orange and gold, red and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Shanti is I mean sorry, Indrani is pink and gold. The leader of Indrani section plays Shanti.
Mm-hmm.
We do um the primaries except for purple.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the primary and secondaries except for purple plus black and white. So it's red, yellow, blue, green, orange, white, and black. But the mass is predominantly gold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with a bias towards that Greco-Roman kind of thing, with some calypso thrown into it.
Okay. So what's the challenge? What challenges do you face in bringing a band to life each year, coming up with these concepts each year? Although in talking to you, it sounds real easy, it's smooth. You know you did all your research, it's flowing off your tongue. But to do this every year for decades, what are some of the challenges that you encounter?
Okay, so for me at this point, the first challenge is how do I keep myself motivated? And that became difficult. You've been doing this for so long that you just get tired. We have climbed to the peak of every mountain that we wanted to climb. And so what I to keep myself motivated, I did basically three things. One, I put down these whole set of bands that speak to Trinidad Carnival. So I know what we are going to play in 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, I think up to 32. I know exactly what the mass is going to be.
Okay.
I don't know how it will look, but I know what the title is or the direction I'm with. Yes. So I'm looking at down the road. I will be looking at soca, chutney soca, rapso, and all of those things.
Sort of musical fusion of music and design.
But without music, the carnival cannot happen. And I'm looking at the stick fight and thing because and then I'm then also looking at some of the other traditional mass. How that will turn out is an entirely different question. For when I sit down and start to work, we will see what happens. So that first challenge was to keep motivated. We are like you. Education is paramount in what we do.
Yes.
So and then since 2000 I started to do a thing where I call mass as art.
Okay.
Or art as mass. So especially in the children's band, I paint and use those paintings as part of my motivation to continue working. Staying motivated that's one. The other, well, this one is not even a challenge. We do this for love. This here in Trinidad, we do this for love. We are a medium-sized band, so it is difficult if any at all to attract sponsorship. They just don't take you on. So we have to finance our mass ourselves. At our mass camp, no one is paid, and it sounds strange. People come and volunteer. They ask to come and work. You know how long I want to make mass? Right? And they want to come and they want to experience the mass camp and all the ups and downs and that kind of thing. And one of the joys for us is when our rookie comes to the mass camp and experience getting burned for the first time with a glue gun. For us, that is hilarious. I suppose our fingers and that kind of thing are much more used to it. You know what I mean? The kind of things that they exclaim from obscenity to religion, you know? And then sometimes they do some stupid things, like they would get burned on the finger and they would try to pull the hot glue off by using and the glue would then stick to the lip and that, you know? Yes, right. And that's a whole another set of stories that we can talk about. At night, one of the guys put contact cement into a Styrotex cup, and this, you know, and the solvent just ate away the cup. And next thing you know, he threw that into another cup. And next thing you know, he's trying to catch the falling contact cement and juggling it. When he was finished, the mass camp work was done for the night. Nobody could go back to work. People were on the ground rolling, you know. So those are some of the things that also keeps you motivated to see what kind of stupidness is going to happen, because something is going to happen in the mass camp. Camaraderie and that kind of thing. Also,
you know, we're talking about all this, but we haven't said where the mass camp is for the listeners.
Okay, our mass camp is on 2 Scott Street in St. Clair.
Many bands have launched already, and they do these band launches. Do you do these band launches that you see other bands doing and having the party and the fete and you know?
No, we don't. No, we don't do that at all. Also, I'm working on the larger costumes, the kings, the queens, and we do a number of individuals. Because what makes Trinidad Carnival a lot, well, one of the things is the spectacle. You don't see that kind of spectacle in other places where a band is coming down the road and you see 15 large costumes.
Right.
You know, the traditional mask also makes it different. For example, a single color band is not new to Trinidad Carnival. The best example, of course, is the sailor band.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So it's nothing new. People find it new and different. We have just gone into taking it into the conventional mask and been using that. The good or the bad thing about, so at least for me with Trinidad Carnival, is that, and I've seen it with some of my friends, it's addictive. We call it Hotel California. You can check out anytime. You cannot leave. It's the only drug I know. And I mean it's serious. So like now, for example, I don't care what I do, I sleep 4 hours maximum. Right? It's only a carnival time. I think for us it's carnival time. Too many people who understand that, excuse me, as you've said, bands have been launched and production, some bands and sailors sell out. It takes a lot of work to produce a carnival band of any worth.
So when can people come in and see your production for what you have planned for 2026 Mass? When can they start?
Oh, they can. Right.
That's the 29th of September, yes.
Yes. We open on from Monday to Saturdays.
Right.
From 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. As we get closer to Carnival, those hours will change. And Christopher Saldina is the person who runs that side of the mass camp. He is Harold Saldina's nephew. His number is 477-0211. So if you need to come outside of those hours, you can give him a call and he will make arrangements for somebody to be in the mass camp. Next year, 2027, it's 20 years of imagination. And I would like to take it back into the theater to celebrate that 20th anniversary. Most carnival bands, large, not children, not steel band, 20, most of them don't see 20 years. And if they get to 20 years, by 25, they're gone. We're hoping to break that.
Or sometimes they go over into big band, large band category. Is that something you're considering, or do you find that you like?
No. Yeah, I've been in the big band thing. I used to make mass and play mass. Now we don't want no part of that. That is a kind of headache that we're not interested at all.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, because we know that now mass is a competition. You're competing with others in the small band, the medium band, large band category. Is that like one of your goals to win your category or anything like that?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
No, we are exceedingly competitive.
Right.
Or we understand what it is to be different, but also to win. So this year we came second on the Carnival Tuesday in medium band. We won on the Monday.
Right.
And one of our males came first in male individual of the year. In the female individual of the year, one came second, one came, I think, sixth, and one came 10th. I like to boast about 2023, 2023 in the female individual of the year became first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and eighth.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your presentation again in 2023?
Limbo.
Limbo. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've always done well. So the gentleman who won male individual this year is Kendall Wilson. He's never played an individual in his life. And he came he's part of us. He came last minute and he said, in a very roundabout fashion, to tell me you want to play mass. And I said a customer, he said, but you could have said so long time. I build in mask. I don't want to go back and have to design that.
Right.
So I said, what kind of masquerader you are?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you know. I said, so you don't know what kind of masquerader you are. I don't know what kind of masquerader you are. And you're making design a costume for you.
Yeah.
And, their first night of competition is Carnival Thursday night at Adam Smith Square.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark is the band leader. I am
Mm-hmm.
not. So Mark is telling him to where he has to perform. And Kendall started to perform about 50 yards before the judges. And we were surprised. We were amazed. We were ecstatic, all rolled into one tight ball of happiness.
Right.
And he went back on the road Carnival Day and he did it again and for his first time. And what is good about him,
Mm-hmm.
he said he always wanted to play mass.
Okay.
And he said, here now, me and all I go live in. So let me do
Right.
this. And well, he's playing again 26 one.
6, yes.
And he's already said to you, doctor, I have master play, so you better know way to do it.
And now he has learned what kind of masquerader he is.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so have I. And if playing mass adds 10, 15, 20 years to his life, I will stay designing costumes, if only for him for that.
Right.
Is
I,
what is
I
why we do what we do.
I keep thinking about the question you asked, what kind of masquerader are you, especially for somebody who might be a first-time
Yes.
mass player? What kind of answer you're looking for? Like, how do people answer that? What do
But
you, especially
and
if you've never
yeah,
played mass before? Mm-hmm.
and the answer is always interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What I've learned over the years is that the real masqueraders are quiet. They don't know. They
Mm-hmm.
let the costume take them over. So there's as far as I'm concerned, there's a difference between masquerading and
Mm-hmm.
reveling.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Patrick Roberts of Imagination, for sharing this interesting conversation about your presentation. And we look forward to seeing you on the road, coming into your mass camp, and
Oh,
people
by
will
all
make your way
means.
down there. Sorry?
Yeah, come.
Come and see it and get the
Yeah,
family atmosphere. There's so many bands out there, but you can find one that is for you, and it just might be imagination is what you are looking for. So just remember that you empower minds and you ignite curiosity and go down to imagination to satisfy your curiosity. Thank you so much, Patrick Roberts.
you're welcome.
Yeah.